Hey, Lindsay, how are you?
Fantastic, Michelle. How's everything going in your world today?
Everything is good. Hey, Lindsay, at some point today, should we answer a listener question?
Yeah, I would say at some point we absolutely should.
Yeah.
100%.
How about now?
How about now? I love it.
Yeah, Lindsay, today we have a really good listener question. I'm excited to get to this episode. And
Yes.
this question comes to us on YouTube, and it's from Ehsan Saleh Abadi, as
Yeah.
1500. I'm sorry in advance if I messed up your name.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and read the listener question. And again, yep, like you said, Michelle, this comes from YouTube. So guys, don't forget, we are over on YouTube. These videos are being recorded as videos that you can actually watch if you learn better through watching. Go over there and hit subscribe. All right. So, shall I read it, Michelle?
Go for it.
All right. So they said, I like your energetic voices. Make my day every time. They make my day every time. Oh, that's so
Aw,
nice.
thank you.
I was wondering if you could talk about the different uses of the word some and at some point. Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey.
Good question. Good question. So, interestingly enough, this was not answering this listener's question, but you and Aubrey did an episode about some words with some. And this was just kind of recently, I think Saturday, March 29th, was
Mm-hmm.
somehow or other, this vocabulary is extremely tricky. So, this is good because you can listen to that one and this one and get lots of examples with
Yeah.
some, somehow. So, but we're going to go through this listener question today and give you some other examples of how some is used.
Yeah, so some just seems to be coming up a lot these days. Interesting.
Interesting. Yep.
Good stuff. So, guys, the first thing to do right now before we get going is hit the follow button, whether you're listening in Apple or Spotify or whatever podcast player you use to listen, or if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. All right.
Definitely.
Good stuff. So it is a good question, Michelle.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
as you said, this is kind of a part two, a little bit, right?
Mhm.
Follow up.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get to it. So at some point, so what when we say at some point, let's answer a listener question. Now, is
Mhm.
the sum, is that meaning something specific, or is it determined and set in stone? What do you think?
It's really more general. We don't have specifics. It
Yeah.
means really at any point, at some point. It just means it's more about yes, we're going to do that,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
exactly. It could be soon, it could be a little later.
Mhm.
So for example, at some point she will probably need braces.
Yeah. So maybe you realize that your kid's teeth are not straight, and you're not saying next year or when. You're just saying at some point,
Did you
right?
have braces, Lindsay?
I did have braces at kind of a young age, when I was like, I think 9, 10.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have a lower retainer in my mouth.
Yeah. Very
Mhm.
common in the US and American
Mhm.
culture to get
Yeah.
braces when you're a teenager or a kid.
Yes, it's kind of a rite of passage in some ways.
It really is. Yeah. We have another sample sentence
Here we
here,
go.
Michelle.
Mm.
Hmm.
Okay. I will give you I will wait. Oh, I will probably give you a call at some point to ask about the housing market in your neighborhood.
Yes. And this is kind of good because you prime people to, you're not nailing them down and saying, okay, I want to meet you next Wednesday at the coffee shop and I'm going to ask you
Mm.
questions.
Mhm.
It's sort of feeling it out if are they
Mhm.
willing to talk about that, or it's warning them kind of, hey, sometime in the next few months, I'm going to call you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
non-committal.
Right, non-committal, I like that. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
just very non-specific, and so it's really good for, not pressuring someone too much, not making them feel overwhelmed, and also, for yourself saying, "Okay, well, we don't
Hmm.
we know what's gonna happen, so but it
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily matter exactly when."
And exactly. And this follows up with the other ideas, similar ideas. Someday, right?
Mhm, mhm,
Sometime and somehow. We have examples for each of these.
mhm,
So, for example, for someday, I hope for peace in the world someday. We don't know
mhm,
when, but someday, right?
mhm, or sometime. "Give me a call sometime." So
Yeah.
At
Nice.
at a point in time, I mean, that's the same idea, right? Give me a call at some
Hmm.
point, right? But sometime is the same idea.
Yeah. Yep. Or somehow, somehow there has to be a way for us to finish this. And that's part of what Aubrey and I talked about, I believe. right?
Yeah, yeah, and, this one, as I was planning it, it made me laugh because do you know West Side Story at all?
Yeah, yeah, I know the
Remember that
play.
song? I
Mhm.
won't sing it, but somehow, someday there's a
Yeah.
yeah, there's a place for us, yeah, so that's what this
Yeah.
episode made me think of with all the
Right,
somehow.
I love it. Yeah, reference to Broadway, right? I
Yes.
love it.
Yep.
Mhm. Okay, and then there are 3 others where we bring in some, somewhere, someone, and something. I mean, these words are all over the English language.
Oh, everywhere. So yeah, somewhere, which is I think the name of that song in West Side Story is so I want to go somewhere warm this winter, right? So we know we want to go
Mhm.
somewhere, but it's non-committal as to where. We just know that we want it to be warm.
Yeah, this is like the ideation stage of things, right?
Right.
We're kind of ideating on something.
Yeah.
And then someone, she's someone special. This is maybe you've been on a date and you realize this person might be special to you. She's someone special,
This
right?
is
Or
kind of
your
an interesting.
grandmother or something.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I mean, this is kind of an interesting one. I realized someone is a little bit unique because you are talking about someone specific there, right?
Mm.
So
Mhm.
it can be
Interesting.
someone. Yeah, I realized that about someone, but
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know why that's the one that's a little bit different, right?
Well,
So
yeah,
interesting.
that is
It doesn't
interesting, and
all
then
work.
s right, because the others follow the pattern of being more broad, less specific, like something. Do you
Yeah.
want something to eat? I'm not saying, "Do you want, like, carrots to eat?" I'm saying,
Right.
"Do you want something to eat?"
Right,
Right?
right, exactly. So
Yeah.
unspecified. So let's go over I wanted to go over one more fun way to
Mhm.
use some. And this is to be emphatic. So this is a very slang type of way, a very unique way to use it. So here, I'll
Yes.
do an example. She's some good singer.
Yes, I love this. Very slangy, and intonation matters here too, right? So
Mhm.
what are you saying? So she's some good singer,
I'm
right?
basically saying she's a really good singer, right? It's just being very
Yes.
emphatic. I'm very enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, I've also heard I feel like this is one of my dad's slangs. He used to say something like, "That is some kinda great. That is some kinda great," like your grades or something or whatever.
Yeah,
You won the
yeah,
tennis match, some kinda
yeah.
great or something. He would put something after that, usually an
That's adorable.
adjective.
Yeah, yeah,
Some
yeah.
kind of funny. He's some kind of funny.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Maybe this is just really this is slangy stuff here. So,
Yeah, yeah,
um
exactly. Or what's another example of a sentence?
Th that was some argument they had. I hope they're okay now. And we really need to punch the some.
Yeah.
That was some argument they had. So this is very different from what we've been talking about. Something, someone, somewhere, right?
Mhm,
Very
mhm.
different. Mhm.
Right. Or that was some expensive gift he got me.
Mhm.
So it's like if you
Yes.
were to rearrange that or say it in a different way, you could say like, "Oh, the gift he got me was really expensive," or "That
Exactly.
argument they had was really intense," or "She's a really good
Mhm.
singer," right? But this is just
Yeah.
a different way to do it that Lindsay, I think it's pretty fairly common.
I think so too. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it emphasizes it's a way to show your personality using
Yeah.
some. We don't usually we just use some in a very broad, general, kind of boring way, but you can have some fun here, right? Love it.
Some fun.
Some
Some fun.
fun.
Let's do a
Yeah.
couple of conversation questions while we have time. Lindsay,
Yeah.
where would you like to live someday?
Wow.
Mhm.
Someday I would love to live maybe in someplace warm, Michelle. Warmer.
Ooh, good.
Someplace warmer. I don't know, maybe New Zealand or Australia or something. It'd be very exotic
Yeah,
for me.
that would be
Yeah.
nice. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think I would like to live maybe a warmer city.
Mhm. A warmer city, I know. Then I really feel like I could give up winter at this point. That's what my partner always says too. Like, we could just maybe not have winter anymore.
I'm
Uh
fine with that, but you and the skiing, you gotta have winter
I know, but you know what? I don't think I love skiing enough to
to be
really
cold
to not
all
give
the
it up.
time.
I think I could give it up. I love to ski because I live here and that's what people do and I'm good at it and I'll do it. It's a good way to spend the day, get outdoors, but I could live without it.
Okay, okay, good to know, good to know. Who is someone
Yeah.
special you keep in touch with from your childhood? So someone. So this
Oh.
so this is interesting though because now I am using it in more of a non-committal way, right? It could be
Mhm.
right, like anyone, right? And that's a whole other
Yes.
topic. But
Yeah, yeah,
um
yeah.
so it can be kind
Hmm.
of either. It's just interesting however you use it.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I'm not really in touch with any teachers. Some people will keep in touch with like their second grade teacher or middle school teacher. I'm not. But maybe my best friend from middle school, and she was actually in my wedding, which is very cool.
Mm.
So yeah, I'd say that's someone who has been special to me. Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
very nice. Yeah, I keep on touch with actually, I just saw I just my phone is sitting over here, and I just saw that I got a missed call from someone special from my
Special.
childhood, my
That's
best
nice.
one of my 2 best friends from childhood, so I said I'll
That's
have to give her a
nice.
call later.
Aw,
But that's really
that's
special. Should we do a
yeah.
role play?
Yeah, let's do it, Michelle. So here we are about to see a movie together. Here we go.
Okay. Should we get something to snack on during the movie?
Sure. Popcorn?
Oh, yeah, let's do it. This place has some good popcorn. It's the best movie theater popcorn I've ever had.
I can't wait to try it. Oh, remind me, I want to introduce you to someone. My friend Larry says his daughter knows you from law school.
Oh, do you know her name?
He told me, but somehow I can't remember.
Okay, text it to me sometime when you remember. What's the actor in this movie's name?
Paul something. Oh, Paul Rudd.
Oh, I love him. I have to tell you about this new book I read at some point also.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. Yep. Some is coming in here. And that wouldn't be uncommon to see some entering the
It's just
conversation in all
so
these iterations,
common.
right?
It's just
Mhm.
so common. It's just like
It's
any
everywhere.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
everywhere. So, so I said, should we get something to snack on during the movie?
Perfect. All right. And then you said, yes, let's do it. Right. This place has some good popcorn. And this way of expressing our personalities, really emphasizing it has great popcorn. It
Yeah.
has some good popcorn. All
Yep.
right.
Yep. And
Mm.
then you said, "Oh, remind me, I wanna introduce you to someone." So, this is a specific person, so interesting.
Yeah, interesting. And
Mhm.
then you said, do you know her name? And I said, he told me. Somehow I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I said, "Okay, text it to me sometime when you remember."
Mhm.
Right.
Good, and then you said, "What's the actor's name in this movie?" And I said, Paul something," and this is a common way when we can't come up with someone's last name. Usually, it's actually for, people we know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Mike
yeah.
something, do you know him? He was at the party
Right.
last week.
Right.
But so I guess you could use it for famous actors
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah,
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 yeah.
sure.
Paul Rudd, who, it's funny because we were talking about Clueless and that he's in Clueless.
I think he's that what is that? People say that he's aging, like, incredibly well, or was that
Oh,
him or
he's
someone
yeah,
else?
it's him.
Someone
They say
else.
he's, like,
Yeah.
aging backwards.
Reverse
Oh,
aging or
oh,
something.
he's
Benjamin Button action
yeah,
going on
exactly,
there.
he's Benjamin Buttoning. No, oh, he's gorgeous. I have such a crush on him, don't
He
tell Dan.
looks just as good and now as he did in Clueless. I mean, that
He's
was 20 years
adorable.
ago.
He's
Yeah.
adorable. Anyway, now you guys know one of my celebrity
I
crushes.
have a crush on him too. It's okay.
Yeah,
It's
he's
okay.
adorable,
He's
yeah.
got great eyes, right? Great
Yeah.
eyes.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, we can't stop ourselves.
Oh boy, that's funny. And then you
Hilarious.
said love him. Everyone loves him. So I have to tell you about this new book I read at some point.
So
And
I
then you
changed
said,
the
okay.
topic, yeah.
Yeah. And here you're saying, I'm gonna tell you sometime. Maybe it'll be today, maybe it'll be
Yeah,
next time we hang out,
yeah.
right? We'll talk about the book.
Now
Yeah.
I'm blushing. This is about Paul Rudd. Um,
Oh, Michelle.
oh my goodness,
I
I can't.
won't tell Dan. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
don't tell
Don't worry.
him.
Yeah.
Okay. So, um, well, this was a really fun question. Thank you so much to our listener for that question. And Lindsay, takeaways for today?
Yeah, I mean, who knew that some could be so fun, right? Who knew it?
Oh,
Love it. We love good questions, guys. So go ahead and send your good specific question to support at allearsenglish.com. And if you're at the C1 or even C2 level or high B1, pay special attention to the section where we talked about some where is that? Some good singer, right? Or that was some argument they had. This is a really interesting way of showing your personality. right?
Yep,
Come back
absolutely.
to that piece, play it again, study that piece because you may already know the other iterations of some, but up your level. Every time with these episodes, you want to find something that is challenging and up your level with that. Okay. Love it.
Absolutely. All right, Lindsay, this was fun.
All right. Talk soon, Michelle. Take care.
All
Bye.
right, bye.